Although weeping lasted all night, I know that joy comes in the morning light. So I march on to a new song, 'cause I've been marching to that old one way too long. And I gotta move on and take new steps every day, 'cause I know there is got to be another way and a brighter day. So I march on. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pure Live. Thank you for coming back and joining us. It is Friday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So we have an awesome guest this evening. I know I've been saying that so much lately, but man, I've really lucked out on my guest list. So you guys have quite a treat tonight. And of course, you know that we start with our sponsors. So here we go.
Hey, sis. My name is Yasmin Brown, and I am the founder of Beauties on Successful Strides. We are your sisterhood community that cares, and we are advocates for your goals being achieved. I'm talking about those goals that you have put on the shelf, those stretch goals that you really, really want to accomplish, but a part of you feel like it might be impossible. We have been helping women to make the impossible happen, and we want to journey with you. We want to be part of your tribe to help you with making the impossible happen. And we do that by helping you to shift from the no zone. The no zone is that zone where it's like, you know what, I really want to do it, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I should. I don't know if I have enough resources to do so or the support to do so. The no zone is also the fear zone. We help you to shift from the no zone to the no matter what zone. The no matter what zone is having that head crusher, no matter what, get it done, bold, confident mindset. And then we help you to be equipped with spiritual success strategies to success. That is basically helping you with developing systems that works while being part of a community that will support you, love on you, cheer for you, celebrate you, be resource providers for you, and so much more. The time is now, sis. If you are serious about your goals being achieved, if you are serious about making the impossible happen and reaching that next level, then join us. Become part of our sisterhood. Become part of a community that truly, genuinely cares. And I'm just excited to welcome you to Boss Soon. Let's go. Let's take them goals off the shelf. Let's make them happen. Let's make the impossible happen for you. See you soon. Bye.
All right. And yes, she is like that in real life. So if you want to go and check it out, it is beautystrives.com. Yes, I am a part of this wonderful, awesome community, and they are everything she says they are. And they actually helped me get this started. So thank you, Boss Sisters. Beautystrives.com. All right. Tell them Asia sent you. Now, for for those of you that are on right now, let me know if you are on from YouTube or Facebook, because I'm hearing that there are issues with the Facebook feed. So yeah, let me know. Okay. Awkward. Anyway, moving forward. So for the next one, for those of you that want to look like me and dress like me, you can go to Posh Women's Apparel. Classy, sophisticated, stylish. Here are some of the outfits that they have. And as you have seen before, some of my dresses I've gotten from them. Boom, boom. So you guys want to check them out, you can go to poshwomansapparel.com and you can use the code Asia and get 10% off. You're welcome. All right. Now, real quick, before I move forward, these right here, these boot blockers, these glasses are from Abella Eyewear. You can go to my website, asiajamal.com or asiajamal.net. I own them both. And you will see a Bella Eyewear at the top or in the drop down menu. And you can get 30% off. You like them? Now we're going to introduce our guests. And ladies and gents, if you want to ask questions or comment or anything like that, we are paying attention to the comment section. And let us all welcome, without further ado, Mr. Rodney Damon Collins.
Hey, what's up, Asia? What's up?
Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for joining us. I truly appreciate it.
It means a lot to me that you opened your platform for a brother. So thank you very much. Feel kind of
And
special tonight. Feel special.
a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah, feel a little
You
special.
special, you special. Um, so much to cover. You do so much. It's amazing. You guys, when I book these guests, I have all of them send me their bios. And in the first line here, just so you understand how much we have to cover, we got an award-winning American actor, author, producer, speaker, and humanitarian. Like, that's enough by itself. And there was more. So we're going to dig into it. What I'd like to start from is from the beginning, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know that you were a native of Toledo, Ohio. So you're a Midwesterner, huh?
Yes. That's my
Okay.
home.
Okay. Well, I forgive you for being in LA then. Um,
I've been to the Shy numerous times, though. I've been to the Shy numerous times, so I love Chicago.
Hello, I do me too. So let's start from the beginning. I want to know what was first. So in reading everything that I was reading, even though you've
hmm
been acting, producing, creating, it seems like you bit with the writing bug a little early on in the game. Like that was your first love. So tell me what was first? What happened?
Asia, I've always had a love for acting when I was younger. And I wrote
Okay.
my first sketch comedy as a senior in high school. I was part of this assembly at school where we had to put on various productions. And
Hmm.
I wrote and directed my first sketch comedy at that time. But I'm first generation college. And the last thing I was going to do was go to college and come home and tell my parents, hey, I'm a theater major because they was just like, I couldn't do that. I love my family,
Right.
but
What you gonna do
they
with
were,
that?
yeah, like theater. Why you go to college then? Why you waste your money on that? And I
Right.
understand their mindset was, the mindset was you go to school to get a job. That's what their mindset was. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's my parents. And since they were
Okay.
footing the bill, I had to show some respect and choose some majors that didn't necessarily direct me towards that arena of theater. Although I did minor in that in college and stayed involved in it.
Okay.
hmm
And then you took it further after that. Now, in what you said, I'm actually going to circle back to that because,
Sure.
I have a family of entertainers, and so I want to address that whole situation in regards to going to school for getting a job and all of that. But right now, what I want to
Yes.
know is what was next. So you did your first, your comedy, and then after that, what did you do
After that, I graduated from college, and
with
tired of being a broke.
in that major?
No, my major was political science,
Okay.
and I was also in the arts. I had a minor that consisted of a theater program. They allowed me to put
Okay.
together Bowling Green State University. I got to call
Oh,
it out. That's my
oh,
undergrad.
okay.
They,
Okay.
there's
Trying to
so many.
represent.
so many people have accomplished so many things from that school. I have to show love for that school. But
Okay.
they
Hey,
allowed me to put together
Yasmin.
a program like that. So I ended up being tired of being a broke college student. I really
Mm,
just wanted to venture out in corporate America for a little while. So
okay.
I took a job with a major corporation, big Fortune 500 company. They paid me very well, gave me company car. But you know what, Asia?
Hmm.
First day walking in that office, I had the worst feeling in the world. Like, man, I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And they introduced me to
Mm-hmm.
my mentor who was supposed to help me get acclimated to everything. And I
Mm-hmm.
looked at my mentor, I was like, I don't want to be this dude. So I knew I was in the wrong place. It's like I don't want to be him.
That's bad if your mentor makes you like, nope, I'm good. I'm good.
Don't
so
want to do it.
so then what was your next step when you realized you're like, okay, this situation is not for me. I need to do something else. What's your next
Yes.
step? Because that's a scary move to make when you're like, this is supposed to bring me money, but I don't feel good about this. What do you
Yes.
do with that?
You know, at the time, I really took the time and just said, well, let me give it a little bit more time. And
Mm,
plus, I was engaged to be married. So I needed to show
okay.
some stability, at that time, especially
Hmm.
when my future father-in-law looking at me kind of sideways already. Last thing I'm gonna do is go to old dude and be like, "Hey, I'm getting ready to take your daughter, and I'm gonna be an actor in Hollywood." So,
Like,
you know,
I'm good. No, thank you.
yeah, he wasn't down for that. So, and
Yeah.
she's my college sweetheart. So
Oh.
I felt this responsibility
Hmm.
um, to really seek this out and see what was for me in this corporate world. Although
Okay.
I did stay involved in the arts, I did it like up in because what happened is when I graduated from college, they moved me to Cleveland. I wanted to come to
Okay.
Chicago, but they moved me to Cleveland. Sorry about that. But
Can't have everything.
but yeah, moved me to Cleveland, and Cleveland is a beautiful city. It has a good arts community, but it doesn't have
Okay.
one where you can do like pursue it for a full time vocation. It doesn't have it there. So
Okay.
yeah, so that caused some issues for a brother.
I see. And I guess that's why people end up moving to either LA or New York to pursue their dreams in regards to the arts. So, was that the next
Yes.
step or was that like further down the road? What did you do next?
Asia, that was further down the road because
Okay.
after I got married, like me and my wife, like my wife was supportive. She was like, "Listen, let's try to do this here and see what happens." So I had an agent in Cleveland, started doing some work. I was actually dipping out from my corporate job and going and doing, modeling jobs. I was doing acting jobs. I'll be like, "Hey, I got an appointment for the rest of the afternoon." They'd be like, "Go ahead." I'm like, I was hoping and praying I didn't get caught. I can say that now because it don't matter. I don't work
Yeah.
there no more. But I did a whole I did a whole lot of that. But then
Yeah.
before you know it, this thing happened. Like my wife got pregnant. So then my
Was it
daughter,
this thing?
this thing happened. So my wife got pregnant. My daughter
Uh-huh.
was on the way. Then my son came 15 months after. So I have two kids. They were born boom boom right after the other. I was like,
Wow.
okay, now this other word responsibility gets huge because now I got a wife and two kids, but I got this desire to work
Mhm.
in entertainment. So I had to
Yeah.
juggle a lot of things, but I made a decision. I said, what, I talked to God. I was like, if it's meant for me to work in the field of entertainment, I believe you'll open that door at another point in my life. But I'm gonna be a man and take care of my responsibilities and take care of my wife, be there for her, be there for
Mhm.
my son and daughter. So I
So
tabled it for a while.
let's get a little more in depth into that process. Before we
Yeah.
started, I had asked you about this picture, and you were explaining to me that you had to take multiple pictures like this.
Yes.
So explain to my audience, what does that mean? Why did you have to do this? What is this process?
That is what we call headshots in the industry. When you being marketed because your agent, they need to present you in various roles and various types of characters that you want to
Mhm.
portray. So after meeting with your agent, your team, agent manager, and you decide how you want to be marketed to network TV that's when you start taking the photos to position yourself for those types of roles. So that's what
Okay.
that is.
Okay, so you doing
Yeah.
the doctor shots and the whatever other shots that you want to do the roles for. That's
Yes.
interesting. So if you're open for lawyer roles, you want to have the suit and everything, and so you got to take the pictures in each role that you're open to, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yes. And you know what? That doctor photo has gotten me some work. It
Yeah.
definitely has. Yeah, it has gotten me some work. I even did a Rick Ross video commercial that he did late last year. So I'm in it. I didn't even know I was in it, but they
How do
took
you
the
not
footage
know?
because it was a job that I had took before I became a member of the Screen Actors Guild. And
Okay.
the company that booked me, they do what is called stock videos and stock footage.
Hmm.
So they sold my footage to Rick Ross. And somebody
Oh.
called me. I was like, "Yo, you in one of Rick Ross things?" I was like, "What? For real?" Oh,
I heard of
oh,
stock pictures. I didn't realize there were stock videos.
yes.
Interesting.
It's a whole
Interesting.
game. It's a whole game.
So there's a couple of questions that's being asked, and I'm trying to lead into these questions.
Cool.
So I think what they're trying to get at is, how did you get into it? So,
Yes.
they said, how did that happen?
Okay.
Um, how did you get the connections you needed to break into the scene?
Okay. Well, let me just say this. First of all, I tell people wherever you live, if you have a desire to work in the arts, you need to get involved with your local arts community. You need to be a part of the drama, whatever's taking place in whatever city you're at, because you got to show that passion before you move to a LA, New York, Atlanta, wherever.
Hmm.
Because if you don't have that passion and that strong why, which I mean, you got to know your why of why you're doing this, you'll get tossed out real quick. So that's why I encourage people get involved in your local community first. I did that. I stayed involved in that. So that was one. So I was building my confidence in who I
Hmm.
was in Cleveland, not necessarily connections for LA. Because once I moved to LA, the only way I built connections, I had to humble myself after doing a lot of principal work,
Hmm.
humble myself, and I did background work for a couple years out here because I'm like, man, don't nobody know me. So I need to get to meet people. Guess what
So what do
happened?
you mean by wait, before you go into what happened, what do you mean
Sure.
by background work?
Okay. Background work is when you're watching a TV show, you see the two principal actors, the two leads, and they're talking in a scene. And you see all the people in the back of the scene kind of walking past or maybe talking,
Okay.
acting that's background. They
Okay.
actually have literal jobs like that where people I know make 70,
Mhm.
$80,000 a year out here just doing that. And
What?
yes, a, a lot of people become members of the Screen Actors Guild from doing that, and they make a career. They just say, "Hey, man, there are certain TV shows that have they have a set of actors, background people that they hire.
Mhm.
Like the show The Rookie. They have a group of people they bring in for every show when they have a certain police station scene going on. They're
Mhm.
their police officers for whatever department, and they just come in and they work just like a regular job. They in there 12, 13 hours a day, but they members of Actors Guild. They making good money, and they're happy.
Mhm.
That's what they wanted to do is just be around it. I was like,
Mhm.
background is cool, but
Mhm.
it's not that cool. Not if you desire to be a principal actor. It's not. It
Mhm.
it it,
Right.
it takes your soul because you watching people act and you sitting there.
Mhm.
You can't talk,
Mhm.
so because then they got to pay you if your voice is heard. So you can't talk. But I did that, and what I did, like the first day I ever did background work was for Scandal, and this was 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I'm I'm get the call from this company called Central Casting out here. I get a call and I go out there and they said, "Well, you're going to be working for Scandal." I was like, "Scandal?" I was like, "Oh, that's a show that's popping. That's hot right now." So I
Mhm.
arrived. I arrived to the set. They were on location that day, so we were filming at USC. USC, they had basically took their basketball arena and renovated it as if it was a Republican convention going on. Because you know how they had the president on there, Kerry Washington, all
Mhm.
them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I arrived, and I'm a firm believer in speaking things before they
Mhm.
happen. So when I had arrived to set, before walking inside to the arena, I stand by a trailer, And I'm very big on speaking life, so I started just praying and just I was thanking God for my principal roles that's coming to me. I'm thanking God for
Right.
the trailer that's gonna have my name on it before don't nobody know me.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, Joe Morgan comes walking out, who's played her father on Scandal, who played her father on the show. He comes
Right.
walking. It was his trailer. I didn't know it. He comes walking out
Oh.
and he shakes my hand. He said, "How you doing? My name's Joe." I said, "Yeah, I know." He said, "You gonna be all right," because I think he heard me. He said, "You go." He said, "You gonna be all right." I just started smiling. I was like, "Okay, cool." So I walk in, and next you know, they have a suit already picked out for me.
Okay.
Being background, that's rare, but they had a group of background people they wanted specifically for various scenes. So
Mm-hmm.
they had a suit. It was like fit me perfectly, like it was made for me. So I'm feeling real special. So then
He said,
the
hey.
yeah, then the first AD, who was the assistant director, comes up to me and says, "Rodney, we want you to stand right here." It was like down a tunnel or something before like people would come out into the arena. I was like, okay. So I'm standing there waiting, and there was like whoever, like the scene is centered around where you're at. I was like, okay, cool. And before you know it, you see some people walking down a hallway, and you see a makeup person running. You know, I'm like, oh, this person must be pretty important. It's Kerry Washington. So I was like, oh.
Wow.
So she I thought she was just gonna walk past me. She walked right to the mark, stood right looking dead at me. I was like, oh.
Oh, he said hello.
Yeah, and that's like what I said. I was just like, I was like, hey, hey, Carrie. And she was like, how you doing? I was like, I'm all right. I'm all right. I think I'm all right. And, and then then I look down the hallway, and Angela Bassett comes walking out. I'm like,
Ooh.
I had to really compose myself, and I was sitting there like, okay. And she said, how you doing, sugar? I was like, I'm good. I'm good. So I'm like, oh, this is my first day doing it. I said, this, I didn't expect to be around all these people like this all of a sudden. So you're immediately thrown into these A-listers, people have been doing it. You've been seeing them on
Mm.
TV for years, and they were just so nice and accommodating. And
Oh.
Carrie and I stood next to each other for 12 hours that day, running a scene over and over again. And
Hmm.
she told me in between takes, she was like, I started as a background actor. I did background. She was like, it's okay. You do what you have to
Mhm.
do. Make some bill. I pay your bills, network, and meet as many people as you can. It's about relationships. So I listened to her, and I was just nodding and stuff like that. And she was like, before you know it, you won't even need this stuff anymore. I was like, for real? Okay.
Mm.
I'm sitting there listening to her. And one thing about Carrie, I'll say this real quick because I really want people to know she is really a sweet person. When she's wrapped for the
Okay.
day, when you're wrapped, like the actor, they say, okay, you're done with work. That's like her punching
Mhm.
her time clock. She's wrapped.
Mhm.
So she's leaving. She walks back past all the background people. She announces to them, we need you because we don't have a show without you. I started doing
Wow.
this so that you all are extremely valuable. She's walking out,
Nice.
taking selfies with people, doing all kind of stuff. It was like, I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, this is like, this is all my first day. I'm not gonna do it every day, but this first day is so memorable. It just blew my mind. But it made me feel like I belong there. That's how I
Very
left.
nice.
I left
Very
feeling and
nice.
knowing I belong. But I use background to network out
Yeah.
here, and I built
Okay.
relationships because I started meeting executive producers. I started
Mhm.
meeting writers, and before you know it,
Mm.
they knew who I was. My first line speaking in a movie out here came from me volunteering. I volunteered to go help a independent film that was filming on a Sunday out here in Burbank in a
Mm.
restaurant called Castaways, which is one of my favorite restaurants out here. It's beautiful. You come out here to see your brother, we all got to go to Castaways. He know about Castaways. It's beautiful.
Okay.
But it's in Burbank, overlooks a lot of LA. It's real beautiful, great scenery. So
Mhm.
I volunteer. An executive producer had put out to a group, say, hey, we need one person to come do
Mhm.
some background. This was after I've been here for a little over a year. I was like, Sunday at 4 o'clock, I'm not doing too much. I'm going to go ahead. I'll volunteer. I went
Mhm.
there knowing I wasn't going to get paid, but I treated it as if I was a principal actor. I showed
Okay.
up a half hour before the crew had arrived because they were coming from another location.
Mhm.
So the first AD came up to me and said, well, how long you been here? I said, hey, what time do you report for work? no later than 15, 20 minutes. I ain't gonna be late. You ain't gonna be looking for me. And they was like, okay.
Mm,
So we started running the scene, and the scene I was running with the principal actor.
yeah.
And before you know it, the executive producer was there as well for the film. Went to the director and said, they were whispering to each other. And next thing you know, you heard cut, and it was like, everybody take five real quick. And director came up to me. She was like, Rodney, are you an actor? I was like, am I an actor?
So you better
Yes.
ask somebody.
Yes. Yes, I am. And she was like, well, we've been looking at the scene and we really feel like it looks more natural if you're able to talk with them and engage them. I was like, really? I was like,
Okay.
yeah. They said, so we have some lines for you. I was like, what? And they said, we're going to pay you for the day and we're going to credit you as a principal in this film. I was like, wow,
Wow.
yeah. I came with the attitude to serve and just learn and build relationships,
Mm,
and walked away getting paid, getting credit. And the executive producer for that film, she still recommends me for commercials and other projects to this day. She'll send an
dang.
email saying, hey, I know an incredible
Mhm,
actor, Rodney. Please connect him. So to answer a lot of people's questions, I went out and I made myself available any way I knew how to when I first got to
mhm,
LA because nobody knew me. Second, I have an attitude of service. I'm serving every project. It's not about me. It's about trying to
mhm.
help this whole project pop off the right way. So that's how I work and go with.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So there was a statement that was made. And it says, I think people should practice telling their stories short and then detailed, but know
Mm,
that we are all living stories. Therefore, practice your story, your journey. Do you feel that
yeah.
your background or being able to empathize and place yourself in certain situations has helped you in your acting and writing for that matter?
Definitely. I would say life experience is one of the biggest preparations for working in this field. Um, Even casting directors like it more when they have seasoned, like people who are seasoned in other areas of life before they walk into entertainment because they're like, you're more grounded. You know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're not here and it's all about you. You're not superficial. And you
Right.
got life experience to borrow from, and you pour that into your characters. You pour that into your work. So, yes, it's critical.
Yeah. You know, like I told you, I never really thought of myself getting into acting. That's been
Mm.
Elijah's thing, my brother.
Yes.
Um, but I've been told that I'm a natural. I can get in and out of those things. But the reason that I can do that is because I can easily take myself there because of my own personal experiences.
Yes.
I can, take myself to the Asia at this stage or Asia at this stage or Asia at this stage and go there. And then,
That
there's the other side of
true.
me that likes to have fun with different voices and stuff.
I'm telling you, Asia. I'm telling you, that's the stuff that prepares you. It's better than a class. No teacher can teach you your experience.
Facts. Hashtag
Hmm.
facts. So, so,
Yes.
so, ladies and gents that are listening and watching, there is so much more to his story. There's a game that we have been playing, and I want to get on this game, but know that we're going to get into his second half of his story. And I say second half because there's like so much more. It's not really the second half. That's like I don't even know. I mean, it's too much. It's too much to put in one show. But
You
but we're
crazy.
gonna get
You're
on the other
crazy.
side. He's done so much more than acting, guys.
Yeah.
So let's get on in this game and have a little fun. Here we go. Pay attention, okay? Because for those of you that get the right answer first,
Mm.
will get a prize from me. First. And this stuff is timestamped, by the way. You don't get to watch the whole show and then answer the question and be like, I got it right. It doesn't work that way. Pay attention. Okay, so here we go. All right, you guys. I'm sorry, I be getting all excited and stuff. I'm just over here like, hey, hey. But my producers came up with this game called Find the Fake.
Mm.
Hey, got a visitor.
All
Hello.
right.
It's my husband.
What's up,
Um,
husband? What's up, husband?
so one has selected C. Now, every time I play this, I have been asked to play it twice. It's not long, so it's not a big thing, but come on, y'all, pay attention. Now I'm gonna do this one more time. All right, and then Rodney is gonna tell us what the fake is. Here we go. All right, now I know what the fake is. I see C. I see D. Rodney, can
Yes.
you tell my people first if anyone got it right?
Okay. So, what answers have people?
C and
They
D. Do
said
you remember what C
C.
and
Oh
D
yeah.
were?
Oh yeah. Yeah. C.
Do I have to
Whoever
tell
says
you?
C is right. Whoever. No. No. I remember. Whoever says C is right. Whoever says C is right.
Are they?
That's is that the one about? Can I say it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one about me swimming with dolphins in the Caribbean.
Mm. Okay, now I hope you paid attention this time. There's a reason I played it. Okay, now they're changing their answer to A.
To A.
A, which
Um.
was that you went to school with Barack Obama.
Yeah. A is not true. A is definitely not true.
So, Kendra, you're the winner.
Although I
Yay.
can say yes, we can. Yes, we can.
I'm going to take you off of this. No, I'm kidding. Okay, that was fun. That was great. So, Kendra will get a prize from me. I actually know you, so.
Oh wow! Well, congratulations. You know what? That means a lot to me that you caught on that I didn't go to school with Barack because that would make me a lot older. So thank you.
She said, "How did she guess that one?" Someone wants to know how you guessed. Like he said, that would make him a lot. Does this face look like he went to Barack with him? Does that look like? I guess you can't really tell these days because black don't crack, right?
No, we do not. We do not.
Okay, let me stop being so goofy. No, I won't stop being goofy. I can't
Please
help
don't.
myself.
Please don't.
I
Please
can't help
don't.
myself. Okay. So I want to get into part two. Rodney Damon Collins part two.
All
So
right.
so let's move forward, right? Okay, so you've done acting, you've done your background stuff, you did a little principal stuff, you've written, which I know about you because of my brother being in a web series that you did.
Yes.
Um, which is so cool. I am still waiting for the next season.
We are too.
Okay. Well, for all
Yeah,
of you
we are
guys that
too.
are watching, that are hearing this, that are part of it, we're waiting. Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Anyway, all these things that you've been a part of. Um, Now, see, you want to take it back to the acting. Okay, I got to pay attention to the people
Hey,
that are asking questions.
that's cool. Let's stay
Okay, so
there. I could
here's
talk.
the question: which role did you regret acting in? Did
Did
you
I
have it?
regret?
Yes.
Honestly, I don't have a role that I've regretted. One, I can look at that my career. When I moved to LA, I had one credit on my IMDb. Now I have just under 40 and won two awards. And I don't regret any role because one, I'm very particular about roles I take. Denzel
Mhm.
said a long time ago, I listen to, he's one of my favorite actors. I really follow him a lot. And I've been following him since the days of St. Elsewhere, back in the day, everything. But he said that he was always very particular about the roles he took because if you're not careful initially, then you'll just be taking anything throughout your career. And a lot of these roles define who you are.
Okay, so
Mm,
so let me ask you this, and
yes,
I don't know how you're gonna respond to this, but
it's
it.
cool.
So you gotten into creating your own content, your own
Yes,
stories, your own series, your own.
yes.
What do you enjoy most, acting or the creating?
You know, I'm going to say I still, even though I create and do my own thing, I still like being in front of the camera. I love
Hmm,
acting. I love telling the story.
okay.
I love being involved fully in the story. Being a director, I tell people that longevity in the industry comes from getting on the other side of the camera. Everybody needs to get to the point. If you're an actor, you got to become a producer if you want to have a long career. You
Hmm.
got to start directing your own stuff and controlling your narrative. But
Okay.
I love being in front of the camera. I'm a middle child. I like attention. I think that is, man.
Oh
That is,
Lord.
it really is. It's a middle child thing. I just love acting. I do. I love it.
You don't give us middle children a bad name.
Hey,
Uh,
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. I used to hate it and resent it, but I accept that. I like attention. I accept that. It's okay. It's okay to accept it. You know.
oh, moving on. Lord have mercy.
Hey, it's real. If we gonna be honest, I can have you lay on the couch and I'll talk to you. It's okay to do this, Asia. It's okay to like attention. There's nothing wrong with that. We all like it. We social media is all about that. So now your council session's over.
I don't
I'll
need
send.
attention. Don't listen to him. This
I,
is
I will.
not every
I
middle
will.
child. This
I will
is
text my bill to you. I'll text my bill to you.
funny. Okay, so so how would your wife feel about you doing passionate scenes with another woman?
And it's funny because I've had to do that a few times. What we do, I make sure when I get a script, I talk to her about it. If it involves that, I'm like, hey, babe,
Mm,
this what my character, not me, but my
mm,
character has to do this. Um,
mm,
so we talk it through, and then even with the person who's my scene partner, we talk through the
mm.
scene before even doing the scene. So we both know on the level how we're going to approach it. And that helps makes everything very safe. I haven't done any new, like a complete nude scene or anything. I really don't think I would have to, you know, I don't see that happening, but
Okay,
I look at it like I wouldn't do anything that would disrespect her. So I'm very mindful about
okay.
that.
Have
Yeah.
you
But
ever
also,
been?
yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
Go
no,
ahead and
no, no.
finish.
I was rambling. Go ahead.
Uh, have you ever run into a role that was presented to you that your wife was like, "No, I can't. I'm sorry."
you know, the roles that I've seen like that, I've said no to it before I even had to say something to her because I know I
Okay.
wouldn't want to do it. Because when I see some of the stuff that they have, like they'll have
Mhm.
it in the description, and it's like, nah, I'm not doing. I don't need to do all that. I don't, that doesn't need to come out on screen like that. So,
Okay.
and I talk to my representation. They know where I
Mm.
stand,
Mm-hmm.
and I have some non-negotiables when it comes to pitching me for casting. And if anything, that's gotten me a lot more respect in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Would you play a murderer or a drug dealer?
I would play a murderer. I Drug dealer. It just depends on what type of drug dealer. I would put it like this. Power. I watched all seasons of Power. I love it. I love the story. The drug dealer's got to have a whole lot of meat to the character for me to
Okay.
play a drug dealer. It can't just be just you pushing weight. That's it. It's got to be a whole motive. It got to be
Mm-hmm.
everything to do a drug dealer.
That makes
Murderer, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, murderer, yeah, I can play murderer. But
okay.
my face always gets me like everybody's like, oh, he's a nice guy. We can get this nice role right here. So I like playing a villain sometimes because it shows, hey, I
Yeah.
can, I got
Get you out of that
range.
box.
I got
Yeah,
range.
I
Yes.
got you. So what about the stereotype roles that depict black men as thugs and gangsters? Do you play those?
No, I've played like in my early days a couple shorts. I didn't regret
Mm-hmm.
them because one, I wanted to let the thug side come out in me. And a friend of mine was writing a short and he
Like you
asked me
got
to
a
do
thug
it.
side. That's funny. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and I had to show I do have a thug side, but
Hmm.
I
Yeah, you
wouldn't want
do.
to play a typical just street thug because I think that's
Okay.
not a great depiction of us, and it gets
Mhm.
old. It's old. I turned down the
Indeed.
role to play a pimp. I turned down the role to play a pimp.
You wasn't big
So I was like,
pimping. Okay.
nah, I can't do that with the. I'm not gonna be seen as he
Okay.
played it. He did a good job playing a pimp. Nah, nah, I
Is
don't
it
want an academy for
ridiculous?
that one. I don't want an academy
Okay.
for that one.
Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense. It makes
yeah.
sense. Okay. Well, moving forward, I want to know about. So you got a couple of things.
Hmm.
You have a podcast and you
Yes.
got a book.
Yes.
So first, I want to talk about this podcast.
All right.
Produce your own life podcast. What's that about?
It's about us learning that we have to take personal accountability for the outcomes in our life. Stop playing the
Hmm.
victim. Stop saying, well, this didn't happen because so and so didn't help me or so and so did this. No, look, that person in the mirror is the person that's most responsible for things happening in their life. So
Okay.
stop playing the blame game, and we are to be the producer.
Hmm.
We have to own our life. We are in charge of that. So I really empower people with my podcast through that. I love that. That's my message. That's what I speak on when I go through motivational speaking. Producing your own
Okay.
life. Yeah, that's what we're responsible for.
It's in your own life. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can get a little further into that. Let's talk about this book a little bit.
Cool.
Journey through the pieces, shattered, so
Yes.
dramatic. What's this about?
it you know I love the story because it's not an autobiography, but it is. I have
Mm,
shared pieces of my life up to this point and different experiences. I call it shattered because one, I knew what I wanted to pursue when I was younger, but I let a lot of um, other different things keep me from pursuing it. Once
mm,
again, I was using excuses and not owning it. And using those excuses led me to experiencing a lot of shattering moments because I would have suffer a failure in a business, or I would get involved in something that I know I'm not supposed to be in. I went to law school for a year because I was trying to run from corporate America. All these different things because I was just like, man, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I can't do it. So I got to do something else. So
mm,
what it did is it broke me. It took me to a point where it broke me, and
okay.
that breaking period was good for me. It was very painful, and I share this, and I encourage men, women, especially our people, black men and women. If you are dealing with any type of mental struggles, do not suffer alone. Find
Mm,
your crew, who roll with you. You talk with them. Therapy, get connected with people because it can take you down a road that you don't need to go to, and you end up starting to make permanent solutions for temporary situations because of going through dark times. No, it's gonna
yeah.
be all right. Just as the sun come up, it rains too, and I think it's snow in
Hmm.
Chicago. So
I know,
yeah,
right?
it don't snow out here, and Tony said,
Man, look,
it never
don't be
rains. It
don't
never
be bragging.
rains.
See, I feel like there's a break in our connection. No, let me stop. Um, so there's another question, and this is why I said it'll take a lot
Yes.
to deal with everything you do. But this is actually
Yes.
a question that that's been asked and dealt with several specifically African American men in regards to the
Hmm.
acting community. And here we
Yeah.
go. You play the role of a gay man. How do you
You
feel
know,
about that?
I put like this. Let me start off by saying I don't have an issue with somebody who lives, who's gay. A gay man introduced me to my wife, and he's one of my close friends. So that's not
Okay.
the issue. But I myself am not gay, and I don't feel like I should be portraying a gay man on camera. So that's a non-negotiable with my agent because I couldn't give the truth to that character that I really would need to do. So that's one of my
Okay.
convictions that I won't do. So that's how I do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
So
but thanks for that question.
it's not because you have an issue. It's because you feel like you don't have what it takes to give to the role what is necessary.
Right. I can't.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Um. Yep. We're never gonna get to the end of your story. Here's another
That's
question.
cool. That means I got to come back. That means I got to come back.
Right. Exactly. Do
Yeah.
you think that actors should be active with speaking against racism?
Let me answer it like this. If I work at Pepsi or Nestle, and when I get off work, I want to come against racism, yes. Actors are self-employed individuals. So
Okay.
we have every right to use our platforms. If you created a platform where you have a huge following, people listen to you, with great power comes great responsibility. Hate to quote Spider-Man cartoon, but in his comic book, but it's so true. And there's a scripture in the Bible: "To whom much is given, much is required." So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I do feel like the platform that God has given me, I should be using it to help change lives outside of just them coming to watch me on screen.
Amen to that.
Mm.
Uh, with a couple of extra capital T's. That
All right, all right,
okay.
all right, all right, all
I
right.
know, right? Lord. So
I am
in
crazy. I'm crazy.
yeah, well, I'm crazier, so it doesn't matter. In your bio, it also says that you're a speaker and humanitarian, and even in the game, I think what threw people is some of the things that were mentioned. It was like you did those things. So let's talk to your humanitarian side of things and speak on what did you do?
Okay. Well, first of all, I've always felt, I'm talking since I was a kid, a responsibility to
Mhm.
help others. When I was in third grade, I used to go to school and come home hungry. My parents finally went up to the school. I didn't even remember this. My parents reminded me.
Mhm.
I was giving my lunch to a kid who was there who didn't have anything to eat. So
Wow.
when I was in third grade, when I was a kid, I felt that responsibility. So, but as I got older, I had opportunities. I've always wanted to go to Africa because
Okay.
where do everybody always talks about Europe and everything. I was like, no, I want to go to Africa. That's my roots are there. I want to go and experience Africa. So an opportunity came up to go to Monrovia, Liberia, and
Okay.
we flew over there, which was a long flight, but we went over to
Yeah.
Liberia and were able to participate in some building projects for a school. And we actually were able to help raise 30,000 books and have it shipped over to the school from America to Africa so they could have an
Wow.
official library also. And
Nice.
and a good friend of mine helped. He and I, along with my family, like we partnered and we helped a couple people finish college over there, because college at the time, this was about 10 years ago, was only 400 US dollars a year. So we paid for their college. And to this day, this young man, his name is Melton. We are good friends. He is a councilman over there now. He is the head coach of a soccer program over there. He is a radio show host, and he's getting ready to get married. and we talk through Facebook oftentimes, like the Facebook call. We talk through that, and he felt so honored by what I've done for him that this program he's over, which is Victory Sports Academy. It's about 500 kids, athletes. They've made me their global ambassador of the whole program.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, my responsibility is to bring branding and talk about the program. And you know, as soon as COVID lifts, I'll be flying over there, and they're going to do a ceremony like in a stadium, and they want to like present me before the students. Like I've talked to a lot of the students, so it's been pretty cool. So that's one of the things that I like to do. That's just one of the examples of my humanitarian efforts.
Nice. That must feel really good.
It, Asia, when I was going to Africa, I remember we were telling the people like, oh man, when we got there, I was like, man, we couldn't wait to get here, man. We've been praying for y'all and everything. The lady was like, no, you see, we've been praying for you. You see, in America, you love God only for what he does for you. We love him only for who he is. And I was like,
Hmm.
I was like,
Drop the mic.
okay. I
Okay.
was like, school's in session from,
Hmm.
first couple nights there. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to be learning. I'm going to be learning. So,
Right.
yeah, so
Enough
it's
said.
amazing. It's amazing.
Wow, that is amazing. And this is coming from the game. So somebody wants to know, bruh, what happened with the Survivor Africa situation?
Hey, well, I was just, I was trying to get on the show, and this was, I was a runner up. I was in the top 20 people they were looking at. This was in 2001. I was still in Cleveland, but you see, I was still trying to
Mm,
get on TV. But I have received my
okay.
letter. I had my official letterhead from the show, like going through
Hmm.
an audition with like 4,000 people and making it to the top 20 to be selected on the show. And I think they only take
Wow.
12 people. So I was this close to being Survivor
Hmm.
Africa. So I would have made it to Africa before, I went through Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why did you even try for that?
Because I lived in Cleveland and I was trying to find any way I could to get exposure. I knew
Okay.
when
So you saw
it was
Africa and you
strategic.
said, let's do it.
Let's go to Africa. Survivor at the time was one of the top shows on TV. I'm like, I get on
Okay.
here. This is gonna give me some branding. So it was strategic. It really was. That's what
Okay.
business
I didn't
moves.
even know there was a Survivor in Africa.
Yes,
So there's
2001
a question. So what was the audition like?
for Survivor.
Yeah.
Well, it was similar to like I had to submit. This was back in the day when we didn't have the smartphones as strong. I don't even
Okay.
think they were out. So I had to send in a videotape
Oh,
to
like a
CBS,
VHS?
VHS videotape to CBS, and I had to snail mail it, and I mailed that thing, and so I had to basically
Mm,
show my personality. I had to record why would I be a good candidate for Survivor? Who am I? What have I done? They didn't want to hear about me being an actor. They wanted to know
mm.
personally. What else? Who is Rodney? That's what they wanted to know. They didn't care about the acting part. So the
Okay.
audition was really just getting to know me and
Mhm.
me just having, and that's really what auditions are anyway, all the time. It's just really casting wants to get to know you. That's it. And see if you're a right
Okay.
fit. So it's not
All
about
right.
trying to put on airs and lose yourself. No, you're
Yeah.
yourself inside the characters. Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Hmm.
When did you write that book?
I wrote
Shattered.
it 2000, started in 2016, finished
Mhm.
January 2019, and published and released it March 2019 because I went through a little period of procrastination after I started.
Hmm.
I was like, do I really want to do this?
I
Because
can relate.
you make yourself so vulnerable, so vulnerable. But
Hmm.
now, writing a book now is nothing. Once you do one, it's like, oh, I can do plenty. So I'm actually going to write a
Yeah.
book series on a character from one of the films that I produce. I'm going to write a series of books on the character.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
see yourself writing another personal book, knowing that you have so much in your background? Do you think you'll do another one of those?
Definitely. Yes. I'm actually getting ready to sign officially with the publisher. So they've been talking to me about doing a produce your own life type book. So
Okay.
definitely it's coming. You know what? I found out through writing my story that your story matters to somebody, and that your
Mm-hmm.
story is somebody else's breakthrough, no matter who you are.
Yeah, absolutely right. Do you
Hmm.
plan to make a movie based upon your book?
Maybe loosely based upon myself, like
Hmm.
I could see like maybe a sitcom later on or something kind of funny,
Why
but you know,
loosely?
well, I'm not sure if I want to be too deep with my life. I don't know. This is something I
No.
gotta think about. Yeah, I gotta think about it. It's got to
He
be,
got to think about it, y'all. He got to think
yeah.
about
I
it. He
want it to be
said,
interesting enough for people to be like, yo, yo. So, you know, like if Denzel,
"Sounds interesting enough."
I,
I think it's interesting enough.
I think there's some more things I want to. There's a certain level I want to be at before I
Hmm.
say I need to write. Like put it like this: if Denzel said I'm doing a life story, everybody's glued to the screen.
Right.
My life story, I'm not sure if it's at that level yet but I don't need to be Denzel's level, but I want to be at a level where I've accomplished some more things so I can line all that stuff up. So,
All right, bro. But
yeah,
I'm just trying to
yeah.
tell you, tomorrow is not promising. You got quite a story to
Oh,
tell. I'm just saying.
oh,
I had to drop that a
et
little bit.
tu, brute, et tu, brute. Oh,
Just
oh.
saying. Uh, I mean, but I mean, what does that matter? I mean, I mean, you may not wake up in the morning, but hey, you can wait as long as you want. You
Now
know.
you're gonna make me stay up all night tonight just write the story, get it out before something do happen. Have me all paranoid to go to sleep and grab my laptop. Let me just start to go to work. Turn my Luther Vandross on and start writing because that's what I got to have some type of music to write. Yeah, have something to write to.
I got some nerve. I gotta start finishing my own book. But
I got a secret too. I got when I was finishing
oh,
my book.
you got a
When I was
secret.
finishing my book,
Mm-hmm.
I had 48 hours to finish. So I stayed up all night, 2 nights in a row, and I played A House Is Not a Home on repeat.
What?
And that
Hmm.
song had me,
That's
it just,
deep.
I don't know what it was doing, but it was getting to me. And I was just flowing while I was just writing and typing. I was like, wow, this is
Mm.
crazy. So every time I look at a chair, I just start saying, a chair is still a chair, even if nobody's sitting there. I just start,
Right.
I'm just like, I can't get it out my head. So it's there. It's with me.
Just in case you didn't notice this last name right here, this is a relative picking on me.
Oh, really?
Asia, where is your book? Listen, listen.
Thank
I'm
you.
working on it. I am. I promise you. I'm working on it. I've got a title and everything. I have the chapters and the sections broken down. I just gotta fill it in some more until it's
Yeah.
finished. I got a lot, okay? You don't
Okay.
know.
So
You don't know
you
my
could do
life.
you could do
I'm working on it.
volumes. You could do
Yes,
volumes.
yes, I
Yeah.
can. I'm working on filling it out.
Hmm.
Uh oh, somebody said I cried through that song, that Luther Vandross song. I
Yeah, man. I can't believe that. But
don't have that testimony, but I feel
I'll be
you.
getting on you. I'll be getting on you now about that because you need to set a deadline and do it.
You know who? A connection.
Deadline.
Mhm.
Oh, yo, you trying? Oh, you
Hello.
trying to cut me off now? Okay, okay. You said a deadline. It will be done. I guarantee. You set a
All right,
deadline,
all right. I'll set a deadline.
and
I'll
you put
set a
it out there
deadline.
to a few people to hold you accountable. It will be done. Guarantee.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it on Pure Live. I'm gonna set a deadline.
Yes.
I'm trying to hold me accountable and stuff. All
Oh
right.
boy.
Oh, you're welcome. Another good show with a great guest. I'm trying to
Oh
tell you,
wow.
got the
Thank
great
you.
guests.
Well, it take a great host to make a great show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much. I do
Yes.
appreciate it. Uh, seriously, and thank you. I really appreciate you coming on the show and explaining all this stuff to us. And you guys, seriously, we did not cover not even close to everything. So maybe we
Yes.
will have to bring it back on. You had so many questions about the first little part of his life. We didn't get to cover the rest. So I don't know. I guess that means I gotta bring it back.
I
And
would love to come
I
back.
have to fit you in on a schedule somewhere. You
Yeah.
said write
Yeah.
the
Did you hear that?
sir.
She got to fit me in. Got to fit me in. So wherever I can fit in. I know
Write
you
the book.
busy.
I know. Oh, and gives the glory to God. I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Because all
Yes.
glory belongs to God. You can't do anything without him. No way. You fooling yourself if you think you can. Look,
Man, I tell you.
Kendra, you picking on me too. Listen, y'all. I'm gonna write the
Yes.
book.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm gonna write it. I promise. I
By
swear.
July 31st, I would
That's
expect to
my
see that
brother's
book.
birthday. Come on, fam.
Hey, you can. What a present. What a present. Let's make it happen. And none to it, what? But to do it. Let's go. July 31st sound good to me. That's like 90 days. That's plenty of time.
I ain't bringing him back on it. No, I'm just playing.
I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out
All
there.
right.
You know,
Okay. All
I'm
right,
expecting
Elijah.
that.
If you hear this,
Yes.
this is
He
what
go,
he wants me to. He gave me a deadline.
which is his birthday. So
It's his birthday.
he gonna be really happy about that. So he gonna hold you accountable.
I'm ending the show. Okay. Uh, all right, you guys. So thank you so much, Ronnie, for being on the show. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
participating. You know where we will be. Elijah said, I'm listening.
Yes,
All
yeah.
right. You know it will be next week, right here, Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please go to my website, asiajamal.com or asiajamal.net. Sign up for my newsletter if you want to see the inside edition stuff. All right. You get to
Yes.
experience my blog and vlog. Uh, and I have some juicy
Right.
stuff I'm about to share this upcoming week.
Mm.
Believe that. So
Uh-oh.
if you want to hear it, you're not going to hear it here. You're going to hear it if you sign up for my newsletter.
I'll make
Okay.
sure I'm signed up because I want the juice. I want to know what
Yes,
the
I'm
juice
gonna
is.
get the juice if you sign up for my newsletter. All right. Okay, everybody. And those of you and I see a whole bunch of YouTube here.
Yeah, yeah. What's up, YouTube?
This is what you're supposed to do with YouTube. Subscribe. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That was smooth.
All right, everybody. Remember to embrace God's perfect design, which is you. Until next time, see you back here next Friday.
Yes.
Although weeping lasted all night, I know that joy comes in the morning light. So I'll march on to a new song, 'cause I've been marching to that old one way too long. And I gotta move on and take new steps every day, 'cause I know there is got to be